and a bit of irony. Do y'all remember the movie called The Color Purple?
Mm.
Y'all remember there was an incredible actress in that movie. Her name was Oprah Winfrey. And in that particular movie, I believe there was a Caucasian lady that had walked up to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she said to her,
you want to be my maid?
And I believe Oprah said, what?
Hell no.
And then the white lady said, I'm sorry, what did you say?
She said, I said, hell no.
Now, how many of y'all in the audience were saying, you shouldn't have said that?
Mm.
You shouldn't have said that to her because that's a white lady and she approaching you about being a maid. Or did you say, you goddamn right, hell no? Now, she got popped up in the eye over that shit.
She did in the back of the head, too.
They beat her. They beat her, and they took her away. And then one day, she knew there was a God.
Come on.
Because who did she see in the store?
Whoopi.
Whoopi. And it's funny how art sometimes imitates life.
Mm.
Because Monique had to tell Oprah when she said, why don't you come out here and promote this movie for free? And she didn't say hell no. See, when Tyler called, Monique didn't say hell no. When Lionsgate called, and there was a lady who called before Tyler, no one said hell no. We just said, we respectfully decline. On behalf of my client, she respectfully declines your most gracious offer to do work for you for free. Now, I don't know how you could be more polite than that. And last time I checked, in 1863, that's when the Emancipation Proclamation was created. So, as far as I know, slavery is illegal. So, why are you ridiculing her, those of you that are, for not doing something that is illegal and committing an act of slavery?
And that's the question that those four entities don't want to answer. So when Netflix comes in with the lowball deal, they know exactly what they're doing. When the offers come in and they're lowball, they know exactly what they're doing. But the offers got even lower because they know, they're saying, y'all know what this is. Y'all know, as Lee Daniel would say, the game. So now that we've set you down and we've put you on ice, now what you going to do? It's like, guys, we're going to keep pushing forward. We're going to keep moving forward. And when people say, oh, Monique, you just keep speaking out, aren't you afraid that you're going to permanently blackball yourself?
But this, you got to let them know you ain't got no sense.
We ain't got no sense. See, Daddy.
But see, y'all under the impression that we think we got sense.
No, goddamn.
Listen, we know we don't have no sense. We know there's a biblical story about David and Goliath. Tell me about the time you had the big black woman that says, you know what? Not only do I want to go up against Goliath, but I want to go up against Oprah, Tyler, Lee, Lionsgate, Will Packer, because I ain't got nothing to do but just start a fight with them. Or has historically the powerful imposed themselves on the powerless? Because the question I would ask you is, what did Monique do when she said, no, I'm not going to work for you because I don't have a contract with you? And again, to finish the story in Paul Harvey fashion, the rest of the story with art and imitating life, as Oprah came in the store and got the products for, as Whoopi got the products for Oprah, and she knew there was a God when she saw that day, Oprah said, Whoopi was going to school Monique on how to conduct business. And Monique so eloquently and lovingly said to our icon and beautiful sister, Whoopi Goldberg, if they had something on me, they would have sued me because they would want to make an example, as she should have been made an example of. But guess what? It never happened because they had no legal connection to her. Hashtag make it make sense, y'all.
And I want to say this.
Say it.
Because when you go on her history for the sisters that had to take a stand, and you see how they left here, right? And for those of you that are saying, Monique, you know, we believe you'll make it better for the next one's coming, but it might not get to you. I don't believe that, because we believe in truth and we believe in honesty. And we've seen the stories too many times where that person stood and they did not back down, and you see how it ended up in the end. You see how it ended up in the end when they don't back down. And I'm not going to back down. We're not going to back down when it comes to Oprah Winfrey. And I need to say this out of my mouth, because people are saying, oh, we got a beef and they clashed. And I watched that interview that she did with Global Grind. And what I've never done is, when it came to me doing the interviews, not my comedy show, but interviews, I've never said anything bad about our sister. All I've said was the truth. But when I hear a woman attach negativity and a dark place to my name, that's when I have to say, Oprah, do you really want to have this conversation with me? Because when you talk about being the light, and when you talk about you have to rise above it, see, I know people will say, oh, Monique, this happened years ago, but the effects are still happening right now. A woman that is such the light would not have blindsided me and had my parents on her show. A woman who was full of the light would have called her sister up and said, hey, I got to have a conversation with you because I wasn't all the way honest. A woman that brings the light would not allow another Black woman to be thrown under the bus and sits back and says absolutely nothing when she's a part of the people calling, trying to get me to work for free. So I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue about the money I was paid from Precious. I signed up for that. What the issue is these 4 entities set back, and because I did not allow them to bully me, they said, we'll show you what happens when you don't come to the hotel room. So Oprah Winfrey, when you get courageous enough, and I hear what you're saying, I won't stoop to that level. See, it's easy for us to say, well, because she has all of this money, we got to listen to her. And she'll use words like negative, darkness, and I won't stoop to that level. We're not asking you to stoop anywhere. We're asking you to stand.
Stand. And what we would ask you is, because here's the thing. It's not as if she hasn't earned the right to be looked at as a prosperous businesswoman. She has. But if you want to get the truth and find out what Chicago thought about Oprah, there's a lost video of a show that Oprah Winfrey had done where they had let Oprah know her real feelings. Ask her when she's going to show it to the public, because they're going to call out facts to her and how she gets down. See, if y'all remember closely, for the length of time that she was on TV, how many people of color did you really see occupying her screen? So much so that when she went to make the transition to the OWN network, she thought she was going to stay in alignment with them. I believe there was Sister Roseanne Barr.
No, it was Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie, that's what I'm saying.
And it was Sister Susie Orman.
There you go.
And then it was the animal.
Because you know I get the names wrong.
I know.
Okay. So when you see that, then all of a sudden it didn't work. And then you had to resort to someone that during the prime of Oprah's show to the end, she would have looked at Tyler Perry's work as buffoonery. But they had to partner up because someone at Discovery said, if you watch the business paradigms, you'll notice that from Fox to CW to UPN, they built their networks off the backs of Black viewership. That is the business paradigm. Hence, look at the programming now. So this is not to speak in reference to her as being a terrible individual, but it can show you how terrible that the business is, that it fails to make you, or fails to allow you to keep the connection with your community, because you need to keep your community. You need to keep your connection with your cachet and your cash.
Oh, well, damn. And let me say this to y'all too, because I see people saying, but not Oprah, but not, you don't want to say nothing. And that's why our sister has been allowed to get away with it for as long as she's been allowed to get away with it. See, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that woman has said, don't you know how powerful I am? See, when I didn't allow them to bully me, the first thing that she did was, this was the first thing. When I didn't allow the bullying to happen, when she called me up, she called like a sister friend. And she called with the, girl, what you wearing to the Oscars? Okay? That's what I got. When she called me up about my brother, girl, your brother done called me and he want to come on the show. She never one time said anything about my mother, but what that woman was showing me, in my humble opinion, bitch, when you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to show you who I really am.
Well, so it would seem.
So to have my mother on that show after I told that woman, and see, this is what, when Global Grind, be courageous enough to ask her the right questions. Don't be afraid to say, it seems like you're taking the high road. Be courageous enough, Global Grind, to ask the woman the right questions. Because when you have my mother on your show, after I told that woman, I said, listen, me and my family, we're not cool right now, especially me and my mother. Me and my mother's relationship has taken a hit. And that woman shared some things with me about her family that, again, I ain't that type of person. I will never share it. Now, she may have put it in the list of things I say to everybody about my family, or maybe some real shit. I don't know. However, me and that woman had a sister-to-sister conversation. But with her being powerful, what she showed me was, when you don't do what I tell you to do, I will have your mother on the show. I will have your drunk father on the show, and I don't owe you an apology, because I'm Oprah Winfrey.